Uh, Good morning. This is Adeniji Idowu. I want to believe everybody is ill and happy, and we are warming up for the 2019 elections in Nigeria, wishing our nation a glorious beginning in 2019. I want to talk to us on what I title warnings to every Nigerian Christian and Muslim leaders. I want us to understand that the true liberty begins with consciousness in the heart and efforts made or displayed by spiritual leaders in every country or society, because they are supposed to be the voice of God, and they are as well supposed to be the mouthpiece of the people to speak justice, righteousness to the government of the day. Here are my warnings to Nigerian pastors, general overseers, prophets, imams, sheikh, and the rest of them. That at this point in time, God is counting on you to do what is needful. Very unfortunately, we have seen men of God associating or declaring their support for Buhari or Atiku. The same goes for some sheikhs, some imam. The same goes for some traditional leaders or rulers. Well, it's unfortunate that we see the stupidity of some of these people being openly displayed. Is it because some of you have been able to live above the feelings of the people that you represent? Because there is no church in Nigeria that I know that can say it has more than average of its members living above poverty in general. I've not seen that church, be it winners, be it with Redeemed Christian Church of God, be it Deeper Life, or any kind of Islamic society. Not up to 50% of your people are above poverty, despite all the liberating word that you preach, despite all the motivational speeches that we give. More than half of our congregations are still under poverty. And instead of you or us as leaders to sit down and see or imagine why this, the Bible says the word of God is quick and powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword, cutting asunder spirit, soul, joint, and marrows. You know the intent of the heart and discern the thoughts of the mind. The Bible also made us to know that forever, O Lord, your word is settled. So the word of God cannot lie. And the word of God cannot be made ineffective. But the same word of God says, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. How can people rejoice when the unrighteous are in power? And the general overseers, the pastors that are supposed to correct the seat of power are celebrating them in injustice. I have this warning for you. The alarming rate of unemployment is very, very crazy. And every time we hear about the situation going on in homes, everything negative going on in Nigeria, if you don't know, weakens the faith that you preach to your hearers. For example, how do you strengthen the faith of a man in the existence of God's word when after he has come to church, listen to Bible, try to be holy, live righteous, but the life he lives does not reflect the glory of God? He's been looking for job everywhere, can't find no job. Many divine, ordained, disciplined wives now become allos just to make sure they make ends meet. Some are not even allos, but they don't obey their respect their husbands anymore. Some men are not even loving their husband, their wives anymore because situations are so harsh. And just because there is no employment, the government does not make room for employment. And you think the best thing for you is to keep telling them to be coming to church instead of you to take the bull by the horn and speak to the power. And unfortunately, a lot of us collect money from these government officials instead of you collecting money from them. Or when they come to say, we want to build you a mega church running in billions or millions of naira, why not tell them to go and invest that money in industry for the people? Or let them sign an agreement with you, even though they give you the money, and transparently tell them that you're going to use the money to create business for the unemployed in your church, and do just exactly that. It's not a crime for church to have business separate from the church, where you have people that will run it. The apostles, when people came to accuse them of leaving people unattended to, the Bible said they selected or elected some people to take care of the tables. That is the wisdom of God. The wisdom of God is not in you taking every money politician brings to you. Because when you take that money, it shuts you down when you're supposed to speak. Unemployment is very alarming in Nigeria. People that are employed are underemployed. More than 50% of people who are employed in Nigeria are underemployed. And even those that are employed don't get paid. And even if they get paid, they get underpaid. Some don't even get paid at all. This is not helping the faith of people in God. And that's why I said in some of my messages that it's not through the church alone that God does miracles. A good government is a channel of miracles to the people. For example, the government can make available jobs for people. It will help people to grow in their faith towards God. And Christianity will be practiced the way God expects us to practice it, not as a religion, as the Sadducees or Pharisees. The Pharisees were practicing it in the damn days. So what are you up to? I want to warn Nigerian pastors. I want to warn the clerics in the Islam too, that every one of you supporting Buhari or Atiku, you are supporting unemployment in Nigeria. You are the people creating rooms for unemployment. Check it very well. Because if you sit to the power seat and we talk to the power seat, instead of giving you unnecessary money to go and invest that money or create jobs for people, it will help your community. Every one of you supporting Atiku and Buhari, you are the people supporting insecurity because you make them to feel what they're doing is right. People are being killed in their hundreds, in their thousands, and yet, for whatever reasons best known to you, you still think you want to go ahead and support Buhari. Every one of you supporting Buhari and Atiku, you are the people promoting infant mortality, children dying before their age, before because these people don't have rooms for medical facilities in their manifestos, and even if they have it, they are not putting it to work. So when you support them, you make them think it doesn't matter to you too if children die before the fullness of their age. That is alarming. If you are still supporting Atiku or Buhari as a man of God in Nigeria, whether secretly or openly, you are the people supporting injustice. You made them to think what they are doing is right by putting to jail people who are not supposed to be in jail and allowing those who are supposed to be in jail to be working freely in the community. In fact, you hold some of them in your churches. You give them the altar, you create special spaces for them. Have you not read the book of James? That God, even our God, is not a respecter of persons. But you respect them because you get money from them. You respect them because you want to be associated. Oh, the president visited your church, your congregation. I don't know where this takes us to. So please, every evil that the government of the day is doing is as a result that you, as a general overseer, as a leader of an Islamic society or as religious leaders, you are not speaking the truth to them. And you are supposed to be the pillar of the truth. I want you to understand there's high time for you now to call a spade a spade. God is not coming down to vote for anybody. But when people vote, they speak the mind of God. So you need to educate your people that their freedom politically is invested in their power to vote and let them go and cast their vote to the right person, but not to Atiku, not to Buhari, not to APC, not to PDP. There are many more vibrant youths coming up with ideas upstairs to help Nigeria. And this is what is bringing me to introduce again Omoyele Sowore of AAC Party or Take It Back movement. This guy, to some of you, is rude. Why? Because he says it as it is. And that is what you need. It's better to fall into the hands of God. I mean, the Bible says it's terrible thing to fall into the hands of God. If a man still corrects you, I think it's better than when you go to hell. If you are doing the wrong thing, the right thing is to make it right. We are all human beings. It doesn't matter what anointing you carry. You can just check yourself. Oh, what accusation is this? Am I wrong? If you are wrong, adjust. Oh, did they expose me openly? It doesn't matter. If God is still okay with you, you can go on with your ministry. Just make sure you tell him you're sorry and go right way with him. Please, let's work together and free Nigeria from these ruiners. Let's work together and free Nigeria from these destroyers. And I advise and I also approve Omoyele Sowore, believing that God will help him to do the needful for the betterment of all Nigerians, home and abroad. God bless Nigeria.